What's going on, guys? SimionSounds here, bringing you another video, and today, as you can tell by the title of the video, I wanted to talk about Pokemon. So, on Saturday, Pokemon turned 20. God, that makes me feel old. And I just wanted to talk about what Nintendo announced during their Pokemon Direct, and how Pokemon affected my not quite 20 years of life. So I've got a bit of a script, like some points I want to cover down here, so hopefully it won't take too long, but I will be looking down quite a bit. So I'm going to start with how Pokemon affected my life. So I was a PlayStation kid. The only console I had was a PlayStation 2, and it wasn't till about 2008, so I was 8 at the time, that I first played Pokemon. So when I first played Pokemon, I played Pokemon Soul Silver, and it was my cousin's copy of the game. He had completely finished the game and was going legend hunting and like post-game stuff. And he said to me, look, just wander around, do what you want, get a feel for the game, sort of thing. So I played it, I wandered around for a bit, and I wandered into Entei, because that was one of the legends he hadn't caught at the time, and they're like the roaming legends. And I had no idea what I was doing, so I didn't say anything because I figured it was just another Pokemon, and I just went, as I had understood the game by this point, so I just went, caught the Pokemon, nothing happened, and then probably about 5 minutes later, my auntie called us out for dinner, because it was like later-ish at night, and so we went out, I turned off the DS, and that was it. I didn't save, I lost Entei, and to this day, close to 10 years later, he still hasn't caught Entei. So, yeah, that was my first experience playing Pokemon. And then, it was sort of another dry period. I played Pokemon a bit when I was over at my cousin's place. We would talk about it. I got into the TCG for a little while, but I never really got into the games. And then in 2012, I started watching Nate Wants to Battle. And, respectively, all the other guys, Nappy, Shady. I don't want to have the description filled with channels, so I'm not going to list them all. And I started watching them, and it actually started from Nate's Hoenns Out song, because they had just announced Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. So I got into that. I got into PokeTubers and Pokemon because of that song. So easily one of my favourite songs by him. And then in 2013, me and my mates downloaded an emulator onto our tablets that we used for school, and we played Pokemon during class, and we would just sit there and play constantly. And so I probably completed, so Emerald was the one that I played the most during that time, because it was like alphabetically one of the first ones that popped up, so I just downloaded it. And I probably completed that 4 or 5 different times during that year, one of which was a Nuzlocke. Admittedly, I lost a good half of the Pokemon that I caught, and didn't catch the other half. No. I think the 6 Pokemon I had when I finished that Nuzlocke were the only 6 Pokemon left alive. That was my first Nuzlocke. That was my first go playing a Pokemon game full, and it was amazing. And then in April 2015, for my birthday, I got an Alpha Sapphire 2DS and Pokemon Y. So my brother had just gotten his 2DS, which was just a normal one, for Christmas the year before, and I played a bit of it to help him understand the game. Like, I would play it and he would watch, sort of thing, because I love the games and he didn't really know how to play. And then when I got mine, I played and played and played. I've still got the one file from Alpha Sapphire open, well, probably not open, but I've got it, and it's at almost 300 hours played on it. So yeah, So that's my life when it comes to Pokemon. Now, my thoughts on Red, Blue and Yellow coming to the 3DS, and my thoughts and speculations on Pokemon Sun and Moon announcements. So, with Red, Blue and Yellow coming to the 3DS, I haven't played any actual Gen 1 games. The closest thing I've ever come to playing a Gen 1 game is an emulated version of Leaf Green I played during 2013 when me and my mates had the mobile emulators. I am so hyped to be able to play these games, and I don't remember where I heard it, but I heard that it's a pure port. There is nothing they're changing. We're getting things like Missing No. Why is Missing No the only glitch I can think of? Oh my god, the rap glitches. Those of you who understood what that sentence just was will understand why that's exciting. And the fact that we're able to Pokebank from Gen 1 games, now that they've got it onto the 3DS, we can now Pokemon Bank across to Gen 6.5, Gen 7, whatever Pokemon Sun and Moon are becoming. I don't know if you're able to Pokemon Bank or Pokebank from these Virtual Console versions of Red, Blue and Yellow through directly to ORAS and X and Y, but we'll wait and see with that. And so my thoughts and speculations on Pokemon Sun and Moon. So far they've only shown a few quick snippets of like concept art and that sort of thing that they showed in the trailer. It looks so new. Like, I'm imagining a purely 3D overworld that more like Final Fantasy than Pokemon has been up to this point. So, like, NPCs that have like side missions and, or maybe not, and like buildings that actually have a use, cough, every house in every game ever, cough. And like, for example, the Poke Trucks, I'm going to call them the Poke Trucks. You had an ambulance, I'm going to say. It's like a white truck with a Pokeball on the back. It looks sort of ambulance-y, maybe for the Pokemon Center. There was another, it was like a yellowy truck, but it had like a Blastoise on the back, and it looked like it was a fire truck sort of thing. And then there was another truck that looked like a safari truck sort of thing, and it had like Machamp and a few other Pokemon that I couldn't quite tell in the back of the truck. And so I'm thinking like maybe there's an event or something that these trucks are connected to, or it's the truck from Generation 1. It's finally moved. And so yeah, these trucks I think either have to do with an event, or maybe the ambulance is like a portable Pokemon Center thing that you can go to on like the really long routes, like that route between Petalburg and Fortree in Generation 3, that massive freaking route. That would be amazing to have a portable Pokemon Center on. But yeah, and then another screenshot they showed, or another concept art that they showed for a bit, was this water gym looking thing. And it's got like the signs of all these different water Pokemon and the horsey fountain, and what, like, it looks like it could be a water gym, and this concept art in itself is what makes me think we're going more full 3D overworld and like different to what we've had before. But I also don't think, if it's going the way that it looks like it's going, I don't think the 3DS can handle it. The 3DS hardware can handle it. So we'll wait and see what happens with that, but it looks good. Anything that makes me say it's not a water gym, this image, is because of the two people in the front, like directly in front of the tower, or in front of the building I mean. One of them is holding a suitcase. Now, unless that's some sort of showing that's the bag or something that you usually get, because the guy isn't holding, like, doesn't have a backpack or anything, so maybe that's their way of showing the bag I don't know, it could still be a water gym. I'm hoping it is, because that looks awesome. The new Pokemon Center design, that looks awesome. It's still sort of keeping to the design, that the outside design that they had for Oras, and it looks like they're implementing the interior design from X and Y. So, like, with the Pokemon, with Nurse Joy directly in the center of the room, and have, like, character customization off to one side, and the Pokemart off to the other side, all in one building though. So, I kinda hope that the Pokemart is off in a separate building, but if they put it into the same building, it doesn't really make a difference. Mega Evolutions for Pokemon Sun and Moon. Now, I honestly feel like the title Mega Evolutions, Oras had their starter Megas, and the Mega Evolutions in X and Y were like the introduction to Mega Evolutions, so you didn't really need any title Mega Evolutions for that. But the title Mega Evolutions I'm hoping for this generation are either Mega Solrock and Lunatone, which would be amazing, mind you, like full moon Lunatone and like solar flares coming off Solrock. That would be awesome. Or like those two, because they're literally the sun and moon, or Mega Umbreon and Espeon. Now this one's a little more unlikely because I can't see them Mega Evolving an Evolution. Because if you Mega Evolve one Evolution, the way their line works, you basically have to Mega Evolve all of them. So, I don't know, but I would really like to see just a Mega Umbreon and Espeon, because like they evolve by the sun and moon, so you can pair them with, you know what they need to do, this has nothing to do with the Mega Evolution, the legendaries have some connection to Mega Solrock and Lunatone, so an event, well not an event Pokemon, but like an NPC given Pokemon is like, even in Generation 3 in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, gives you the Mega Metagross at the end in post-game. What if they have to give you a Mega Solrock or Lunatone, depending on which game you're in, to calm down the legendary for this generation, so that you can catch it or kill it, because it's like either gonna burn the world or send the tides crazy or something. That would be awesome. Anyways, so that's my thoughts on Pokemon Sun and Moon, the Red, Blue and Yellow Virtual Console versions, and how Pokemon affected my life. So I will leave any channels I mentioned linked in the description, and this video was a response to Game Boy Luke's How Pokemon Changed My Life video, so I will leave his channel linked in the description and the video that this is in a response to. So I will see you guys on Saturday with another Pokemon themed video. Peace!